Hi, welcome to another video, and if it's your first visit to the channel, I'm Mike, and together with my wife Jude, we're lucky to call the French Alps home. It's now a few days since the Marmotte Granfondo 2021, and here's my story on unravelling the event and how my day unravelled. Good morning from the French Alps. This is probably the closest I'm going to get to the front of the race, but it's the start of the Marmotte Granfondo. It's a misty, moody day in Bourg-d'Oisans. It's 13 degrees at the minute. I think we're in for a tough day. I'm in the first pen. I'm going to hang on as long as I can. We'll see how we get on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
At the start, overnight rain had made for greasy conditions. However, I was lucky to secure a place in the front pen and successfully wheel sucked up to the first climb, staying out of trouble. This was my fourth Marmotte, and my last ride in 2017 was my best finish with 7 hours 25 minutes. I felt fit and had planned to use that 2017 schedule as my target for the day. So here, I'm already stopping for a quick refill on the way up the Glandon. This is the descent I've mentioned in previous videos, where it kicks up to 13 or 14% immediately after the dip at the bottom. This guy hasn't watched my videos, he's shipped his chain and come to a grinding halt. Pacing the Glandon went well. The roads were still a bit greasy, but now drying out. As was the camera lens, and it was a stunning morning as I reached the Col du Glandon summit just before 9 AM. At the summit, I was 7 minutes in arrears, but not fazed by it so early in the event. I missed out this feed station as I had enough food in my pockets, so I put some extra clothing on and some gloves and headed off down the descent. The first couple of kilometres on the Glandon descent are the steepest, although the descent is on fully closed roads and is neutralised as it's a technical descent all the way down to the valley floor. At this stage, I was loving every second and singing to myself and getting really into the rhythm of the bends. At the bottom of the Col du Glandon, it's critical to get in a group for the long slog up to Saint-Michel-de-Maurienne, so I hung around and then jumped on the back of this train. Talking of trains, this is the railway crossing that you need to watch out for by Saint-Jean-de-Maurienne. There were some strong riders in this group, so I just hung on the back, but by Saint-Michel I found myself suddenly on the front before swinging right onto the Col du Télégraphe. Even though this had been a strong group, my deficit to 2017 was growing and I was now 12 minutes behind schedule. At the summit of the Col du Télégraphe, I took a quick stop to get some more water before I carried on down into Valois, over the cobbles and onto the Galibier.
So, update, I'm about 4 k's up the Galibier from Valois, just in time for a helicopter to come over. Heading towards Plan Lachey, feeling okay. It's really humid, got too much clothes on, could have done without the new warmers. Managing to keep on top of liquids. I think I've gone through 6 or 8 bottles already. I think these 2 in the cages are the 8th, 7th, 8th. All is good. I think I'm a little bit behind 2017 pace, but what the heck, who cares?
This is Plan Lachey, and with 8 kilometres to go on the Col du Galibier, it marks the start of the most difficult part of the climb, and it feels much longer than 8 kilometres. Passing Marco Pantani's memorial, with just under 6 kilometres to the summit, I started to unravel and I could feel my energy just ebbing away. The Galibier tops out at 2,642 metres, and I haven't been this high since before COVID. I don't know how you guys from the UK, Holland and Belgium manage it coming from virtually sea level up to this high. The thing at this point is that you can see the summit. It's immediately above the yellow sign with just 2 kilometres to go, but it feels a million miles away. I could have stopped here for a rest, but pushed on to the summit feed station. I grabbed some food, some more water and wrapped up for the descent. From the summit of the Col du Galibier, it's a stunning view down towards Serre-Chevalier and Briançon on the south side of the Col de Lotteret. However, it's a technical descent down to the Col de Lotteret junction. Onwards onto the Lotteret, and you can see that the road dynamics have changed. We're still on closed roads, but the road is also much wider. Apart from the tunnels, it's a fast, non-technical descent down to Bourg d'Oisans, but today we have a biting northerly headwind and it's Baltic cold. You need to be in a big group here, and it wasn't after the tiny ski village of La Grave that the group formed. There's a couple of short ramps on this section, and I cramped really badly and had to engage granny gear to spin out the cramp. Luckily, the cramp cleared quickly, but I ended up riding alone for a couple of kilometres, so I stopped just before Bourg d'Oisans to take off all my descending clothing and joined this group just before the start of Alpe d'Huez. Onto the climb of Alpe d'Huez. First 2 kilometres are the worst, and I'd recovered on the descent, but after La Garde I started pedalling squares. Steve from Liverpool caught me up and G'd me up a bit. We'd ridden most of the Glandon together earlier in the day.
Hey, you've had a good ride, eh?
Oh, I tell you what, loved it. How about you?
Oh, I really suffered up the Galibier.
Yeah.
I'll see you at the top.
Yeah, you're doing great.
You've done amazing, bloody hell. Good effort.
I don't know what time I'm on for now, but, you know, starting the day thinking, if I can get this done in 9.5 hours, I'll be happy.
Oh, you're well in that. So, I should be finishing now to do a 7:25, which is what I did last time.
7:25.
Because they knock off the descent of the Glandon.
Yeah.
I'll see you at the top.
See you at the top, you've done great. That means I might get a race hour.
Absolutely.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I might have a beer later. I might get you one too.
Cheers.
Then I had to stop at Dutch Corner for a breather. I think the face says it all here.
Should that was Dutch Corner, last stop for water, just through Ues, bend 6, really struggling, 8 hours 18 on the bike. If there was an option to jack now, I'd take it. This is the last time I do this event.
The road is smiling, but I'm not at this stage. I've never been so pleased to see the back streets of Alpe d'Huez and across the finishing line. Thankfully, Jude was there to meet me, and so were the Croix Rouge. I didn't bonk and I was hydrated. I think as a Brit I would say that I pulled a whitey, grey-faced, exhausted, shivery, but after 30 minutes in the medical tent of observations I was cleared to leave. A massive thanks to Jude for your support all year round and for being there on the day. I also want to thank those riders who said hello along the course, having seen my earlier videos. It kind of makes the project all worthwhile and really made my day. Thanks also for the Croix Rouge for their attention at the end of the event. So what time did I do? 8 hours, 14 minutes. 50 minutes slower than my 2017 place, but I came in 569th place out of 2,000 starters and 1,800 finishers. I was 74th in my age group, so overall, not too shabby. The winner was also 20 minutes slower than his own winning time from last year. So I guess maybe the day was slower. Was it the altitude? Was it the cold on the descents? Who knows? So what were the lessons I've learned from my 2021 Marmotte experience? I think it's easier for me personally to plan for a scorching hot Marmotte in July when you've got less concerns about what clothing to take and you literally just take a gilet for the descents. And also, if I was to ride it again, I would ensure that with the opportunities that I have living here, that I definitely ride up to altitude as part of my training plan. So thanks for watching the Marmotte Unravelled. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I guess there's just one last question I need to answer. Would I do it again?